Welcome to a deep dive into chapter 11 of the Book of Enoch.
Okay.
And this time we are going from divine judgment to hopes of restoration and renewal and all that good stuff.
Yeah, this is one of the really fascinating chapters because we really transition from this period of darkness and consequences into a reconciliation.
Right.
And not just humanity finding redemption, but the earth itself.
Yeah, it really does feel like somebody hit the reset button, like nature's coming back in a big way.
Yeah.
It talks about the rivers that were polluted are now crystal clear, dead trees are bearing fruit again, and the land that was once barren is now fertile.
It's amazing the detail that's given in this chapter to really point to that idea of a return to an Edenic state.
Yeah.
It's like erasing those scars of transgression from the natural world.
Yeah, so it's not just the environment getting a makeover.
Yeah.
Humanity itself is going through some changes now that the Watchers
Oh, yeah.
are out of the picture.
And that idea of repentance is really important here. The people finally free from that negative influence are able to confront their actions and seek a more righteous path. And there's this movement towards spiritual renewal.
Yeah, and it's not just an internal reflection they're having. They're gathering at these sacred rivers for cleansing, like a massive public declaration of their commitment to change.
These rivers are really interesting because they're more than just physical locations.
Yeah.
They symbolize a return to purity, a reconnection with the divine source.
Right.
And the imagery with the celestial lights and the angelic messengers really point to the magnitude of this spiritual reset.
Even the cosmos seems to be reflecting this newfound harmony. After the whole rebellion thing, the heavens and the earth realign and the celestial bodies are moving in perfect order.
Wow.
So does this cosmic harmony say something deeper about the Creator's role in all of this?
Absolutely. It's not just about restoring the physical world or humanity's spiritual state.
Right.
But the celestial imagery reinforces this idea of the Creator's power being reasserted. Order is reestablished on a cosmic scale.
Yeah.
And it reflects the divine will being restored at the very heart of existence.
So we've got nature thriving, humanity is reconnected with the divine.
Right.
The universe is in harmony. Can everybody just sit back, relax, and enjoy this utopia now?
Well, not quite. Chapter 11 gets a little more complex than a happy ending.
Okay.
The Creator makes it clear that peace and prosperity are conditional. Humanity has to maintain this state of righteousness.
So it's not like a reward for past good behavior. It's like a challenge to keep making the right choices going forward. And what happens if they don't?
That's where things get even more interesting.
Oh boy.
While it doesn't explicitly detail consequences of straying from the path, there is this sense of warning woven throughout the text.
Okay.
Almost as if the Creator's reminding humanity that divine mercy is a gift, not a guarantee.
It sounds like this restored world is more like a delicate ecosystem that needs to be carefully tended.
Yeah.
What are some of the ways the text emphasizes this need for ongoing effort?
Well, one striking element is this emphasis on memory.
Okay.
It reminds us of that devastation caused by the Watchers.
Yeah.
Remember what happened?
Don't forget the lessons.
Right. Don't forget those lessons learned.
This is like this post-traumatic growth. They've learned from their mistakes, determined to build a better future, but they can't forget the past.
Exactly. And what this highlights is that this peace, this harmony, isn't a passive state of being. It requires vigilance and a conscious choice to stay aligned with the divine will. It's about remembering the fragility of this restored order and the potential for things to go wrong if they become complacent.
So this idyllic picture isn't a guarantee, it's a challenge. Humanity's been given this incredible second chance, but with conditions.
Precisely. And that's what makes chapter 11 so thought-provoking. It's not just a story of restoration, it's a reminder of the ongoing responsibility that comes with such a gift.
That's a lot to unpack, even for us, and it seems like there's still more to explore. But before we do, I want to hear from you. Imagine you were witnessing this restored Earth. What's the first thing that strikes you?
And what questions does this remarkable transformation raise for you? We'll be back in a moment to explore those thoughts together and delve deeper into the complexities of chapter 11.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We've been talking about this incredible vision of restoration in chapter 11 of the Book of Enoch. And it really does seem to strike a delicate balance between hope and caution.
Yeah, it's that tension that makes it so interesting. You have this beautiful picture of a renewed world, but also this underlying awareness of how easily it could all unravel.
This idea that peace is conditional, that it takes constant effort is really interesting. What are some of the challenges or pitfalls that chapter highlights that humanity needs to be wary of?
Well, the chapter repeatedly emphasizes memory.
Okay.
And it's not just about remembering past mistakes, but understanding the deeper causes, the attitudes and beliefs that led to the downfall.
So recognizing those patterns both individually and collectively and choosing a different path.
Exactly. And one of the pitfalls the text seems to warn against is this human tendency towards pride and self-sufficiency.
Oh, yeah.
If humanity forgets its dependence on the Creator, if they start believing they can maintain this harmony on their own, that's when things could start to fall apart.
Classic pride comes before the fall. We think we have all the answers.
Right.
We get complacent, and that's when we're most vulnerable.
Exactly. And that's why the chapter really emphasizes humility.
Okay.
It's recognizing that humanity's well-being is ultimately dependent on the Creator, on aligning ourselves with the divine will, not our own.
So this new beginning isn't about humanity taking control. It's about surrendering to a higher power. Recognizing that there's an order they need to respect.
Absolutely. It's about understanding that true freedom comes not from doing whatever we want, but from aligning ourselves with the divine will.
So even with this fresh start, there's always that temptation to fall back into old patterns.
Oh, yeah.
To let those old ways of thinking come back.
Definitely. And while the chapter doesn't explicitly say what those old ways are, it does suggest that humanity needs to be incredibly vigilant.
Right.
Recognizing those subtle ways that past mistakes can creep back into our thoughts and actions.
So not just avoiding those big, obvious transgressions,
Right.
but being mindful of those small, everyday choices we make.
Precisely. It's this constant process of self-reflection, examining our motivations and intentions, and that requires a deep understanding of what it means to live in accordance with the divine will.
Right, so it's like spiritual maintenance, this ongoing effort to stay on the right path.
Yeah.
But we can't do it alone, can we?
That's right. The chapter highlights the importance of working together to maintain this harmony.
So it's about creating a culture that supports righteous living where everyone is accountable.
Exactly. Accountability to the Creator
Right.
and to each other.
Passing these principles on to the next generation. Creating a legacy that ensures this world can really last.
There's one detail that stood out to me, the way the chapter describes this abundance on the restored earth.
Oh, yeah.
Overflowing harvests the fruit-laden trees.
Right.
Animals coexisting peacefully. It's almost utopian.
It really is what makes this chapter so powerful. It's not just a warning, but it's a vision of what's possible when humanity is in harmony with the Creator.
It's like a glimpse of what Eden might have been.
Yeah.
A world where everything's balanced and there's enough for everyone and peace reigns supreme.
So it's not just about avoiding punishment, it's about creating a world that reflects the divine.
Exactly. And that vision of abundance isn't just about material wealth.
Okay.
It's about spiritual fulfillment, a deep connection with the Creator, and a profound sense of peace.
We've covered a lot, from potential pitfalls to humility, the role of community, and the vision of what a harmonious world could look like.
It is a lot.
And yet chapter 11 still leaves us with so many questions. What could disrupt this peace?
What are those specific actions?
Right. What are the limits of divine mercy? Will humanity be able to rise to this challenge?
These are questions we need to keep exploring as we go deeper into the Book of Enoch. But for now, what details resonated most with you? What insights did you glean from this exploration of renewal and responsibility?
And what questions are you carrying with you?
We'll be back in a moment to share our own and explore those questions together.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We've been talking about this restored world in chapter 11 of the Book of Enoch. This world full of potential, but also so fragile.
It really is that tension that makes this chapter so fascinating.
Yeah, we talked about the importance of memory, understanding why past mistakes were made. But what about actions that could mess this up? What should humanity be on the lookout for?
That's where the text gets really interesting. It doesn't just give us a list of rules,
Right.
but makes us think about the subtle ways we can get off track.
Okay.
One of the biggest warnings is this idea of going back to old ways of thinking. Even with a fresh start, those old habits can come back.
Yeah, it's like we bring that baggage with us. It's not enough to just change what we do.
Right.
You have to change how we think.
Exactly, and that takes constant self-reflection. Are we doing things for the right reasons?
Yeah, are our actions aligned with the divine will?
It's about looking at ourselves and our choices,
Yeah.
making sure they reflect this new understanding of what it means to be righteous.
And we can't do this alone. We talked about community and shared responsibility.
Yeah.
How does that fit into maintaining this restored world?
The text is really clear that we have to work together. It's not enough for individuals to be righteous.
Right.
We have to build a society based on those principles.
So building a support system for righteous living.
Exactly.
Where we're all invested in each other's success and we hold each other accountable.
And it's about the future, too.
Yeah, passing on these lessons to the next generation, making sure they understand the divine will.
But chapter 11 doesn't just focus on challenges.
Right, it gives us that glimpse of what could be.
That vision of abundance.
Yeah, with the flourishing landscapes and the peaceful coexistence.
It's almost like a utopia.
It really is, and it shows us that being righteous isn't just about following rules, it's about real-world results.
When we align with the Creator's will, the world reflects that.
It's like seeing Eden restored, where balance and peace are everywhere.
Yes, and I think that's the message of hope in chapter 11. It shows us that a better world is possible.
So as we finish up this deep dive into chapter 11, I want to leave you with one last thought. Imagine you're standing on this restored earth. What would be your biggest hope for the future? And what would you fear the most?
Think about those questions as you keep exploring the Book of Enoch, because this chapter isn't just about the past. It's a lesson for today and a guide for tomorrow. It reminds us that our choices shape the world around us. It's a call to action to bring healing and harmony to the world. Until next time, keep diving deep.